Now, the weakest sector in Europe today is the tech sector, and mainly because of this chart right here. Nokia stock down another 10%, which I'm sure isn't the reaction that Stephen Elliott was hoping for today after they announced a major strategic review, which includes them teaming up with Microsoft to use its Windows Phone as the new software platform for its smartphone. Symbian sort of being downgraded to a franchise operation. The move is part of this overhaul to try and stay relevant against key rivals such as Google, Android, Apple, BlackBerry, Research in Motion. Nokia's new chief executive, say Stephen Elliott, unveiling also a broad leadership shuffle, changing the heads of those who are going to run North America, China, and of course splitting the company up into two new key divisions, mobile and of course the smartphone area. Joining us with his views on this is Adam Leach, practice leader at Ovum. Alan Capper is still with us. Market typically underwhelmed by what's been announced. They obviously taken the view it isn't going to do the trick. It's not going to take Nokia back. What's your view? Yeah, well, my view is you can see why people have thought that. Basically, Nokia has given away their strategic advantage software, and I think that's what people are reacting to and feeling like they've now done this deal with Microsoft, and that's not going to lead to Nokia's recovery, and that they're going to become more like a PC vendor and end up the value going to Microsoft. Obviously, Nokia and Microsoft see it differently, and what Nokia has the opportunity to do is bring more value, so it becomes more of, say, a Wintel kind of partnership than it does a Microsoft-Dell kind of partnership. But I think the response here is obviously people are thinking that it's going to be more of the value in this is going to go to Microsoft and not to Nokia. The big question, of course, is why they didn't tie up with Google, or you start using Google's Android. Yeah. Keith Walker earlier said they just wouldn't be able to compete on it. It's a very crowded market. There's a lot of OEMs already on board with Android doing devices. It would be very hard for Nokia to come into that, to differentiate, to make a difference to the platform, to the direction of the platform. With Windows Phone 7, it's new to the market. It's had a lackluster performance over the last few months, so have an opportunity to kind of drive that business. I think that's where the key for Nokia is, to be able to influence. Yeah, I mean, it seems to me, unless they can come up with I I suppose the thing was about the BlackBerry, it was sort of revolutionary, and they're upgrading it. It was the iPhone, the iPad have been, in a way, revolutionary. I mean, everybody's now going to start using notebooks, the iPad, instead of laptops or PCs. Unless Nokia actually, seems to me, invents or brings something that is revolutionary, they've lost it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all this focus on software platforms and software is great, and you need it there for your strategy. But what you really need to do is innovate. You know, Nokia needs to innovate in the same way its competitors have been innovating. You know, they have over the last few years had trouble executing on sort of market trends. That was the thing, is we spent all this money on research and development, and they've come up with nothing. Yeah, well, I think nothing is a bit too hard. Kind of nothing that's going to put them back in the race. Had a breakthrough innovation, and that's what they need to do.
One question I've got is that when you look at the PC market, we can see the number of software vendors has shrunk enormously, whereas in the mobile phone world, it doesn't seem to have shrunk very significantly. How much room is there left in this market? Or will we start to see a move towards more global standards? Yeah, I mean, I think we're already seeing consolidation on platforms. You know, I think if you go back 5 years or so, there's a plethora of homegrown platforms, third-party platforms out in the market, and that market has really shrunk down. And now there's central gravity around a few key ecosystems, and of the open ones, Microsoft and Android are the two that are really that are pulling developers in, and then you've got other OEMs that are sticking to their own platform and differentiating with their own software, like RIM and Apple. So we've seen consolidation, and I think it's right to see maybe a handful of platforms in the market, and I think they will still persist around that. But in terms of application developers, we've seen a growth of application developers. There's still a huge opportunity in mobile for those developers, so I expect to see still a growth there for mobile application developers. And good to see you. Thanks very much, Steve, for joining us. Adam Leach, practice leader at Ovum.